Censorship began in the year 1909 with the Cinematography Act, which gave local authorities power to choose what films were able to be shown to the public. The first attempt at censorship for cinema was in 1935 and was called the Hays Code. One way this was used was with the old cartoon Betty Boop, and was censored due to the way she was dressed and was changed from time to time. The Production Code administration to follow filmmakers' more artistic freedom. The content in films in the 40s still had to abide by the Hays Code. There were many films banned within the 1950s. This was often minor details. However, due to the time period, films were often considered inappropriate. However, within today's standards, they could be no longer considered censored. These films include Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye, The Blue Moon, and The Vanishing Pirate. An example I'll be choosing out of them is Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye, as it was banned in Ohio for a sadistic presentation of brutality and an extreme presentation of crime. Within the years 1912 and 1949, there are the types of things that would be on lookout for censorship. Realistic horrors of war, indelicate sexual situations, themes and references relevant to race suicide, scenes suggestive of immorality, and many other different ones. Within present day, current censorship concerns would be sexual violence, drug abuse being condoned or glamorized, as well as dangerous actions that can easily be imitated by younger, more naive viewers. Certain combat moves such as ear clouts, headbutts, and neck breaking, for example. Overall, there are some things that have stayed being censored over time that are to do with sexual content, such as anything overly explicit. There are different guidelines with two major factors into what makes them censored. One is legal requirements, with some examples including unsimulated animal cruelty and indecent images of children, whereas the other major factor is to do with the BBFC's own policies, which have changed over the years to different topics, such as forbidden ones to context-based ones to help the artistic merit to each individual film. Although that is the usual case, the approach isn't the best, as it has led to an important number of films being either passed, uncut, or a milder age restraint than you'd expect. It is also controversial, as there is films would be treated with less strict than others with similar content. As a result, a lot of them would become subjective by a handful of people. People can make requests to censor film productions and scenes. An example of this would be the film £1,000 Reward in 1913, as it was filmed in the quarries of the Isle of Scotland and depicted an escape from a nearby convict prison. The reason it was censored is because of how they must not show anything which would give real prisoners any ideas on how to escape. What is Ofcom and what do they do? Ofcom is a regulator for the communication services that we use and rely on each day. They do different sort of things to make sure that people are able to use communication services, including broadband. A range of companies provide quality television, radio programs that appeal to diverse audiences, viewers, listeners. Listeners are protected from harmful or offensive material on TV, radio, and so on. demand people are protected from unfair treatment in programs and don't have their privacy invaded. The Universal Service goes all UK addresses 6 days a week with standard pricing of a radio spectrum is used in most effective way. A case study that I went with was Celebrity Big Brother to be investigated by Ofcom. On September 24th, 2018, Ofcom was given over 2,500 complaints when one of the celebrities, Roxanne Pallett, said she was physically abused by another celebrity in the house, Ryan Thomas. The watchdog confirmed that this case was being investigated on whether or not the program broke Ofcom's rules on doing offensive content. Ofcom's rules for Celebrity Big Brother include no connecting to the outside world, recording 24/7, must wake up whenever the alarm rings, you must not discuss any of the previous contestants or Big Brother series, the public decides who will be evicted. Another rule includes that it will remove you if you break the rules, use any physical violence or threats or behaviour that is inappropriate to anyone in the house. The rule was later broken by Ryan, who attempted to use physical violence and abuse towards Roxanne. The public reacted in a way that they would and complained to Ofcom about it to get something sorted out. The job that Ofcom does is to make sure it doesn't happen again on show or anywhere else. Watershed is protecting children from harmful materials on TV and radio and is one of Ofcom's most important duties. There are strict rules about what can be shown on TV and what exactly Watershed does. The watershed means that the time when TV programs which might be unsuitable for children can be broadcast. The time begins at 9 p.m. and this is when content isn't suitable for children comes on. The time it is between is 9 p.m. and 5:30 a.m. The guidelines for TV companies include this unsuitable material, including everything from sexual content to violence, graphic, or distressing images. Also swearing. An example would be that frequent use of offensive language must be avoided before the watershed and must always be justified by its context. The most offensive language must not be used in TV or radio before watershed, as children are most likely to be around. My personal opinion on censorship is that it is good when necessary, but at times it doesn't seem to be needed.